The first question is, have you been close to making a splash? I mean, back in July, Tom was here and he said in the press conference, we'd like to make a splash now, but we might have to be patient. So are you able to reveal whether or not you've been kind of close to pulling the trigger on anything either earlier this summer or in the recent weeks here?
Yeah, no, not really. We haven't been. And again, it's not for, necessarily lack of interest. It's, it's timing. I mean, if there's certain players that we have interest in, but they're currently not available for whatever reason, that's just the way it goes. And as far as a splash, I mean, there's a smaller number of players that would fit into that category, and then until the teams have gone through their process, evaluated where their team is at, made the decision that, okay, we are going to be sellers this year, then it's just having some patience, going through the process with our team, coaching to get the most out of our players, and that's not a bad thing, because when you have a little bit of time, I think you do a better job of evaluating where your team is at, and that's what we're doing right now. We're getting a real good look. We've got so many guys at camp, especially forwards, we're getting a real good look at, the players that are trying to make the team, the returning players, and getting an opportunity to really assess, who's ready to take a big step. Is there somebody that's able to, step up into a role that we thought maybe we were missing? So guys have a couple more games in, the early part of the season to make those arguments.
Yeah, and I guess part of the interesting thing for me is looking at, the assets that you have acquired. I think if you look in the next 4 years, you have 6 first-round picks, and how hard is it to determine how you use these assets that you have and when you use them?
Yeah, I think there's lots of discussions. I mean, as a staff, again, evaluating what our biggest needs are. Every once in a while, maybe you get a player for just a pick. I mean, most teams, if they're willing or looking at potentially moving a higher end player, they want players back, and that's always a challenge too, because you want to make sure that you've got a definite upgrade. We really, really like our team. We like our culture. We like the players that have grown up here and totally bought into what we're doing. And I think when you've got a team that really cares about each other and plays hard for each other, I mean, you have some pretty darn good success. So we will be patient and open and evaluate any potential opportunities to acquire players. Right now, I think the vast majority of teams are just kind of evaluating where their team is at. There could be some overage players, teams at some point here. I think they've got till October, but there could be some teams that are looking to find spots for overage players. We really like our overage guys. Like, we really like Kuefler and Englot and Brandwood. I mean, Brandwood and Kuefler have grown up here, just been warriors for us. Englot came in and made a huge impact. Was a real difference maker for us. So we like where we're at there. It might be some time before something arises that really makes sense. And I think we're excited to see the young guys through the process, and then we're also excited to see everybody come back. We want to make sure that everybody comes back. I mean, strange things have happened before where you plan on having everybody back, and somebody gets signed and placed somewhere. Like, you look like a guy like Kuefler. I mean, we expect him back, but you just never know. So we want to make sure that we see ourselves through that process, and I think it's a positive to to get the group that we've got right now through the preseason, our camp players back, and get some games under our belt, get some games played where we can really assess, like, how good are we, how good do we think we can be with this group, and what exactly do we need to make us better.
Right. I mean, that kind of answers my next question. I understand that you're still assessing. Is there a position group that is starting to stand out that is becoming more evident you'd like to upgrade?
Not really. Like, I mean, you look at the game last night. I mean, we're missing 6 forwards. Six top forwards, and and that's where the team work ethic, the team structure, the team the togetherness. Like we worked real hard, worked together, and we struggled scoring a little bit last night, but really impressed with how well territorially for the most part of the game we were able to play. We generate a lot of shots, real good shot volume. So I think we always believed that up front we're going to have some depth. First look at Ashton Ferster was positive last night. He's a 6'4" plus guy that got some experience, had a decent season in Medicine Hat. They just decided to go a little bit younger, so he was available. I know him as a younger person. He's 19 years old right now, but he played hard last night. Played with good structure, and so he's potentially a guy, let's say, in more the bottom 6 that has the potential to really help with his size and experience. So we believe we've made a step there. We like what we've seen, really like what we've seen in Kyle Masters. He fit in with the group well. So that's another addition. I guess an addition and a subtraction. Sarell, the defenseman, has shown that he has the ability to play in the league, and now it's so that's a real positive. There's always a little bit of risk. You do your due diligence, but sometimes they work out real well. Sometimes they don't work out so well. But I think what we've seen so far, we believe that he can play, and now it's getting a feel over the next the coming weeks as to how high he can play in the lineup. And then you always look for growth within. You look at a guy like Caden Hammell. How big of a step can he take? He's a first round bantam pick. He played for us a little bit in the hub at 15. He's got a 16-year-old year behind him. How big of a step can he take? Logan Bairos, who didn't play at 16, who played some forward and a little bit of D in the hub at 17, really got his first year in last year at 18. He's had a real terrific preseason. What level can he get to? How high in the lineup can he play? So there's just lots of things there. You really hope and believe that there's a Kuefler story somewhere along the line where you think you've got a guy that scored 4 goals his 17-year-old year, 4 in the hub, which probably on pace for 12. You think maybe we got a 15 goal scorer here, maybe we got a 20 goal scorer here, maybe we got a top 9 guy, and by the end of the season he's at 38 goals and he gets drafted to the NHL. So we're always open to those guys kind of fast tracking their development and having a great summer and coming in with more confidence, more strength, and the ability to play higher up in the lineup than you'd expect. So we're looking at that at all 3 positions. With our goaltenders, how high, how much of a step can Ernst or where does Shatter get to? What about Sanche? Which D-man have the ability to not just be an in and out guy but be a regular player? Which D-man have the ability to jump from a 5-6 to a 4 or a 3, and that really
junior hockey is so dynamic, and you just look for the next guy. I mean, Fraser Minten from 16 to 17 just made tremendous gains. He starts out as a fourth line guy, fourth line center at 16 years old, and he's a top two. He's a second line centerman. 6-7 months later. So I think there's still lots to evaluate and determine. Like you said, there's the GM and the coach part. The coaching part is just to keep working each day on helping these guys improve, and then as a manager, you just evaluating the whole situation, taking into consideration the chemistry, how important it is that you got a group of guys that work together and care about each other, and then with the mindset that there's going to be something that comes up and makes sense, and we have to have the ability, the willingness to do those things when the right time comes.
Okay, and the last one, it's on the blockbuster, sensational storyline that's been kind of bandied about a little bit with Connor Bedard. Tom has said, you'd have high interest, but it's mostly speculation. That's basically what you told me a few months ago. Mm-hmm. Is there any update there? Is there any communication that's gone on with Regina, or anything that you can update us on that?
Yeah, no, I think Regina, is going to evaluate things. The information that we have is, they're not trading them right now. They're going to try to build. They're going to try to add players around Connor Bedard and see where they can get to. They believe they have a generational type player, and they're going to try to add. So right now, I think that's the direction they're going, and I guess time will tell if they're able to get to a place where they feel confident kind of going all in at some point, with Connor Bedard as the centerpiece, or whether they change that mindset. But that right now, from our understanding, is their mindset that they're looking to add right now.
Okay, I appreciate the time again. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.